every once in a while on VHS AF, I like to do TV shows. Come across a videotape of an old show that I used to watch, or maybe something I never did see, but it exists in one form or another on VHS. And I think it started with Bosom Buddies was my first TV one, but I know that I've done Super Friends. I know that I did Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, some Beavis and Butthead, a couple other ones. This time around, the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeehaw! Dukes of Hazzard, of course, started in 1979, and it ran until 1985. I think in the last couple of seasons, though, wasn't even the original actors, the main two characters. They just kept it going and kept beating that, flogging that dead horse for as long as they could. And the show ran until 1985. This particular tape that I have here is one episode. It's from the first season, and it is called Deputy Dukes. What do we know about the Dukes of Hazzard? What do you know about the Dukes of Hazzard? Well, here's what I know. A couple of redneck dudes from, I think it's supposed to take place in Georgia. They're somewhere down in the southern U.S., and they're just a couple of good old boys, just like the theme song says, which I would play, but, of course, for copyright reasons, I can't play that song. They drive around in their stock car, the General Lee. It's a very fancy, very fast Dodge Charger, painted up in orange with a big Confederate flag painted right on the top of it. A very iconic TV show vehicle. This particular episode, however, we get to see, of course, the iconic car, and we get to see Bo and Luke Duke in their same outfits that they wear in every episode, because that's just how TV works. Getting chased by Roscoe P. Coltrane, local sheriff. The show starts with action, and there's a car chase, because you can't watch the Dukes of Hazzard without a car chase. It's just the law. But very early in the show, Bo and Luke get the car impounded. They also have their clothes stolen, and what happens is, instead of going on probation or getting tickets or whatever, the sheriff and the local, Boss Hogg, I don't even know is he the mayor? Is he I think he's the mayor. I don't know, he's the richest guy in town, and he controls the police department. I kind of always assumed he was the mayor, but I don't know. Anyway, him and Roscoe cook up this plan. Well, it seems that there's this prisoner at another police department down, somewhere a couple counties away, maybe in the next county over from Hazzard County, which, as far as I know, doesn't actually exist. There's a prisoner there that needs to be transferred to Hazzard County, and they're going to have his trial there. And it's some high-profile criminal, and he's, very famous, and so Boss Hogg is very excited to get this prisoner to Hazzard County and have him tried at the courthouse, because then he can have a festival or something and make money off of it, and because Boss Hogg's all about making money. However, it seems like it's going to be a pretty dangerous assignment, so Roscoe doesn't really want to go to do this prisoner transfer. So the idea pops up that, why don't we deputize the Duke boys? This way we'll send them suckers down there, and if anything happens, if any mafia comes in and tries to attack and kill the escort, then hey, these Duke boys are just a bunch of rebels anyway, right? Okay, so it's a dumb premise, and it's I'm pretty sure that the American legal system doesn't really work that way. How you can work off your speeding tickets and get your car out of impound and basically have your probation cut short or something like that by being deputized. I could be wrong. Anyway, it's a dumb premise. So now for the rest of this episode, that means that we don't get to see the General Lee. We don't get to see the Duke boys driving around in the General Lee. We don't even get to see them in their yellow and blue shirts, how they always dress in every episode. No, they're dressed as cops. And they have to pretend to be cops. Well, I guess they technically are. And go pick up this prisoner, bring him from this, whatever the other town is called, and bring him back to the county seat of Hazzard County, whatever that town is called. So they drive around in a cop car. But it's basically the same as every other Dukes of Hazzard episode that I remember anyway. a bunch of high-speed highway chases, a slow-speed chase in town at one point. Basically, there's like a cop car, and they're being chased by these criminals in some other car. And it's like, the cops are being chased by criminals. What a twist. Okay, there's like these hitmen or whatever are out to get the Duke boys and kill them and take the prisoner back. And there's also like this like double agent lady or something that's posing as a police constable. And they make a big deal about a lady cop. Oh my god, like this is 1979, dude. Like, lady cops? That's only on TV, man. Yeah, it's Dukes of Hazzard. You get to see, cars racing around, and the sound of squealing tires prevails throughout this entire episode. Really dumb humor in there. Of course, the sheriff's an idiot. His deputy's an idiot. The mayor slash whatever, Boss Hogg is an idiot. But all them redneck Duke boys, yep, they're on the up and up. And they're just good old boys. And, of course, you only briefly get to see, like, Uncle Jesse and Daisy Duke in this. They're barely in it. The only thing they are in it for is they come down to the station and they talk to Boss Hogg and Roscoe, who are people that they really... Uncle Jesse constantly breaking the law. He's a moonshiner, right? But he's this old guy, and he's just this grumpy old guy, but they always go to him for the wisdom of the Duke clan or whatever is Uncle Jesse. So he comes down to the courthouse and he tears a strip off of Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane and like, you better get them boys back here safe. And it's like, where do you get off, buddy? You're a criminal. Like, anyway, it's dumb. Yeah, they get the guy back to Hazzard County, and then it turns out they're not even going to have the trial there, and Boss Hogg wasted all his money and resources, and loses money, and he calls Roscoe a jackass and a half, or whatever his catchphrase was, and Enos, you dipstick, and yeah, it's full of catchphrases, it's full of car jumps, and you get to see Catherine Bach as Daisy Duke in her short shorts or whatever. You don't really get to see a lot of that in this show. It's okay, but I mean, that's something you would normally expect in a Dukes of Hazzard episode. Yeah, this one, it's too bad I picked this one because, well, this is the only one I found at the thrift store anyway. But yeah, because this one, it doesn't have all that iconic scenery, I guess you could say. General Lee is like barely in it, the car, that is. And Daisy Duke's barely in it. You do get to see Bo and Luke with their bow and arrows and, with some dynamite on it and blowing stuff up and jumping roofs and stuff, and they gotta, like, catch the bad guy in the end. And, yeah, there's a bit of action. It's 1979 action / comedy television. This is the closest thing to a cartoon that any live action show has ever gotten because it's, like, so repetitive, so predictable. It's like, how they reuse footage in cartoons? Like when Yogi Bear runs through his cave and he runs towards the door and he just keeps passing the same like lamp or whatever. Well, that's the Dukes of Hazzard. You just see the same car jumps and the same car chases and they're all wearing the same outfits all the time. It's a cartoon, man. Dukes of Hazzard is a freaking cartoon. And it's dumb. And I don't like the Dukes of Hazzard. I watched it, I guess, back in the day because, I mean, I don't know, all my friends were watching it and said it was so hilarious and so cool and all the car jumps and all that. It's not for me. I'm just digging for something interesting to say about the Dukes of Hazzard because I was not interested in this at all. As a matter of fact, it took me 2 viewings to get through this. And even the second time around, I was like, I had to keep taking breaks because I was like, oh, this is so fucking stupid. But there it is. Okay, so I guess I got to give the Dukes of Hazzard, Season 1, Episode whatever, Deputy Dukes, I'm going to give it a D+. D+ because it's dumb. Plus because I remember it. And I could at least find a few things to talk about and appreciate about it. Not much. I mean, I guess back in 1979, the only reason I was really watching this was Daisy Duke. Not gonna lie. Hey, man. I don't know. If you're really into Dukes of Hazzard, you'll enjoy this one. If you don't know anything about Dukes of Hazzard, probably shouldn't really bother. Or if you do, like, maybe go watch like the first couple of episodes, like the pilot episode or something like that. This one was just a waste of my time, and I don't want to waste any more of your time talking about it. So, I don't know. Y'all have a good one out there. Yeehaw!